American Revolution and a colonial dame, and can trace her heritage back many generations. From her, I was able to get enough facts to determine that the writer of the manuscript, her distant relative, was Richard Powell, who was born in Virginia in 1788, and who died somewhere near Springfield, Tennessee in 1842. Starting with this scant knowledge, I began my investigation and looked upon a Vanity Press history of that area by a local historian. It seems that in 1816, Powell had come to an area of Middle Tennessee called Red River, renamed Adams Station in 1859, with the coming of the Louisville and Nashville Railroad, and later simply Adams. Powell was briefly an educator during that community's adolescence. Although no longer teaching in the area, in 1824 he married a former pupil, Elizabeth Bell. Known as Betsy, she was the second daughter of John Bell, a prominent Red River farmer. On page 159 of the Winter's History, the author writes, "The name of John Bell has been associated with the legend of the Bell Witch down through the past 150 years. Already a corner of the puzzle had fallen into place. I began calling antiquarian and Tennesseana bookshops in Nashville and in Montgomery and Robertson counties. The proprietors were very helpful, and in quick order I owned no fewer than 6 books detailing information on this Bell Witch legend. Most of these books contain an identical set of woodcut drawings based on the haunting, and some of these are presented through this book and story as well. These 6 local publications all describe a haunting in Adams that took place more than 170 years ago, and which became world famous. While the older members of the Bell family and their friends had sought diligently to keep a lid on the happenings, eventually one of the youngest sons assembled a notebook on the event, and a child of another son wrote his recollections of his father, John Bell, Jr., from approximately the year 1884. A work published in the 1890s not only reprints Our Family Trouble, the Richard Williams Bell account, but also supplies a wealth of background history and personal recollections of many people of the community who witnessed the haunting. I am not overstating the case in saying that more than once the hair stood up on the nape of my neck as one book after the next echoed the events in Powell's manuscript, detail for detail. The Bell Witch incident falls under the classification of a poltergeist haunting. According to yet another book I found that included the Bell Witch story with other similar occurrences, a poltergeist, meaning literally racket-making ghost in German, is a frisky, mischievous, unseen spirit that specializes in knocking on walls, tossing things like crockery about, and performing other supernatural feats. In the scientific sense, there is no such thing as a poltergeist. There is only poltergeist activity. Odd things that happen due to some unknown force or power, perhaps psychological in nature. Poltergeist hauntings have been recorded in Western civilization from as far back as AD 355. In North America, well-documented incidents have occurred in Stratford, Connecticut in 1850, Macon, Georgia in 1870, Amherst, Nova Scotia in 1878, and Seaford, Long Island in 1958. 2 important elements make the Bell haunting different from all the others. The first is that this is the only known incident in which the spirit took credit for killing someone. Astounding as this detail is, a much more gruesome element is revealed by the manuscript of Richard Powell, and by his words alone. All of the books I found came into existence after the creation of Powell's biographical account of the incident, and he clearly did not anticipate them. Since he wrote, dated, and sealed his manuscript before any of the